को नहीं कर सकते, रुको रुको, अपने कर सकते।
Book behind your click pictures. We also have our few essential services here. So you can go around and socialize. We'll be starting in the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
मैसेज सर्कुलेट करायचं ना. इकडे या ना समोर. आता या. थांब मेसेज बनवू दे ना अम्मा.
स्टुडंट सोबत तुझे फोटोज पण येत नाहीये. इकडेच आहे. कुठे स्टुडंट? आरो येऊन गेला, हा येऊन गेला, अजून एक दोन जण फोटो पण नाही
तुझ्या पर्सनला पाठवतो हा मेसेज. यश कोठारीला पाठव फोनवर. तो सत्यम काढतो ना, घेऊन गेला ना तिकडे. डन आहे, मेसेज डन आहे.
इसको थोड़ा वाइड एंगल लो ना यार। इंस्टा कहाँ गया विराज? इसको वाइड एंगल की तरफ।
लाईव्ह कसं अडवणार
एक थांब. बस असंच काहीतरी करून रोटेट डिवाइस ओरिएंटेशन लॉक आहे, ओरिएंटेशनला आहे. कुठे ओरिएंटेशन? थांब थांब थांब. केलं?
ह्याला धर एक मिनिट फोन.
एवढं सांभाळून घे फक्त.
काय
एक याची लिंक पाठव ना. स्टुडंट वेट करत आहे. तू पाठवणार आहे की काय? श्वेताला मेसेज पाठवलाय. श्वेताकडनं तो मेसेज घ्या आणि ग्रुपवर पाठवा. तुला मेसेज पाठवतो मी, तो सर्क्युलेट करून दे. ठीक आहे. अभी माइक ऑन है बस चालू है सेशन
Hello, Chief. Hello. 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 Guys, can you hear me at the back? Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I hope all are excited. Okay, so I welcome all of you all for the Predeparture 2025. I would request everybody who's sitting at the back side, please come ahead. There's enough space here because you have to run. So please come ahead. We have a lot of space.
honor to be your host for this very special occasion. Today's celebration is truly memorable. We have gathered here for one of our most awaited events of the year to honor our incredible students, applaud the dedication of their counselors, and appreciate the relentless efforts of our entire team. It's a moment to celebrate achievements, cherish memories, and wish our students for an exciting new beginning. So to each and every one of you, a very warm and a heartfelt welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Hepzibah, and I welcome all of you to Study Smart Predeparture event heading abroad this fall. We're thrilled to be here with all of you, our amazing students who are all set to begin an exciting international journey, a supportive parents who've been there every step of the way. Now, before we go ahead, I would want to know from all of you, all the parents, the counselors, and the students. So, before we proceed, from the parents, I would want you all to cheer, to give a round of applause and the loudest of sound from the parents to show how excited you are. So, can I get some noise from the parents, please? Now from the students, the parents were not that excited. I want to know how excited are the students to go abroad? The loudest. No. This is not loud. This is not, I am louder. I want very loud noise. You all are not going here to Delhi, you all are going abroad. So the loudest, however loud you can. Yeah, that was. Now, I want to know from our team Study Smart, how excited are you all? Well, bang on, good. Yes, Radha.
Today's event is all about helping you shift from planning to preparing, from travel checklists to housing, finances, safety tips, and dealing with the cultural differences. We've got everything lined up for you.
At Study Smart, we go beyond just applications and visa. We are committed in making sure you feel confident, informed, and supportive right from the moment you pack your bags to you finally settle abroad. Let's take a moment, yes, Shweta.
Let's take a moment to especially acknowledge the parents here today. Let's give them a big round of applause. We know this journey isn't just a student, it's a family journey. Thank you for your unwavering support.
Absolutely. Your guidance and emotional baggage from afar will play a vital role even after your child flies abroad. We are honored to have you here today. Well, now to begin, as we officially begin this event, we start this event with a game. So I want all the students to remove their phone and keep it ready. And we're going to tell you how the game goes. I want all the counselors to please come ahead because we need your help as well. Students, are you ready? Yes? Louder. Okay.
Yes, it's time for a super fun Instagram challenge, and of course, there's a prize.
Yeah. So this gig goes as such. So every student out here, I'm sure you all recognize your counselors, yes? Yeah? So the challenge goes as such, and don't worry, you're going to win something here, okay? Now what you have to do is, firstly, you have to take a picture. First you have to go run to your counselor and click a picture with them, okay? Your counselor has to be visible. Now I'm here, so my student here can come here, don't worry, you are also going to win, okay? Now, you have to go to your counselor, click a picture and tag us on Instagram. The first one to do wins the game. Okay? No, wait. Don't start, wait. Okay, all ready? Yes? So, live picture, ठीक है? पहले खींचा हुआ नहीं चलेगा. So, मैं अभी बता रही हूँ. Live picture. So, the first one, we have a team who's going to monitor. So, the first one to click a picture, post it on Instagram. You can tag us on Instagram. And then, the first one to do that wins a game. Okay? Ready? Your time starts now. Team Study Smart, please keep an eye who's the first one to post. We're not going to declare the winner right now. Done? People are still clicking. We're not going to judge your picture. We just need you to be the first person to post. Yes, ready? Done? Okay, can I have the team to tell us who the first one was to post the picture? Viraj? Nobody's done that yet? Have you tagged studysmart.co.in? Okay, we have a winner. Okay. So we have a winner. Her name is Vidhi and she is Yash Kothari's student. So I would want Vidhi and Yash to come over on the stage and I would request Yash to please hand over the gift to her, please. Please give a round of applause for her. Yes, Vidhi? You are very fast.
Thank you so much. Okay. So a few words about Yash, and I'm so glad that I'm able to say this in front of everyone. He has been so supportive throughout the journey. I made so many hiccups, so many situations where I was not right, and he was the one who very calmly solved those. And thank you so much. This was possible just because of you.
Congratulations, Vidhi. Okay, now the second game, again Instagram, because we are very fond of Instagram. Okay, now the second game goes as such, okay? Everybody, including the parents, have to first follow our page, that's studysmart.co.in on Instagram. We have posted a few questions on the story, okay? It's a poll. You have to answer all the questions. The first one to answer wins a prize. So, just give me a minute. Are we ready, team? All questions posted? Yes. So your time starts now. And we have a count. Rishikesh, do we have a winner? Not yet. No chat GPT. No AI. This is luck based, sir. Okay, so we'll be introducing the winner in a while. Now, to officially kick off today's proceedings, we are honored to invite the visionary behind Study Smart, a mentor, a leader, and a guiding force in international education. Please welcome Mr. Chetan Jain, Managing Director of Study Smart, to share his insights and welcome us through the journey ahead. Welcome, sir.
Right, good evening everyone. Okay, let me just check the mic a little please. Yeah. Right, I'm quite excited to see a fairly full house. I'm glad all of you made the time to come for this session because it's really important. What we're going to try and aim and do is get you fully prepared for your journey ahead, what you need to do before you go and what you need to do at least for the first few months once you reach there, and also give you a little insight on how to apply for part-time jobs, how to apply for full-time jobs, how to get that edge and make sure you're a winner. Right? But before we do that, I think I'm seeing a lot of tired faces. Maybe somebody had late lunch, a little sleepy. Some of you have traveled from Nasik, Kolhapur, Aurangabad. Yeah, so should we freshen up a little? Right? Can I request all of you to stand? Right? I want you to stand, raise your right hand, and wiggle it a little. You'll feel the blood flow grow. Yeah? Now do that with your left hand. Right? Now give yourself a big round of applause for being here today. Right, so quickly, what are we going to cover today is, yeah, you can sit down now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll have a little more attention from everyone. Right, so what we're going to mainly try and cover today is what are things you need to do, give you a little information about the respective countries that you're going to, what kind of prep work you need to do, how you need to pack, what you need to pack, what you need to do in terms of essentials that once you reach the country, how to open a bank account, what are the essential steps you need to take. So we'll try to cover as much as we can. I would like to make this as interactive as possible. So once we are done with my PPT, we'll open it up for Q&A and we'll pass the mic around and you can ask as many questions as you want. No question is a good question or a bad question. A question is a question and we're here to answer that. Right, so can we get started? So the first thing that I want each of you to completely imprint in your mind, I can promise you this is going to be the best year of your life. Whether you're going for a year, whether you're going for 3 years or 4 years, your life is going to change after this. So you still have a month before you start your journey, right? So first thing that I would advise you to do is maximize the time that you're getting in preparing yourself for the journey, right? Be excited, go shop, but at the same time start preparing. So when a soldier is going for a war, right, they would do a lot of prep work before they go for a war. You're going for a war, guys. The first 1 month is going to feel like a war, right? So the only way you can win in the war is if you're well prepared. So जंग के मैदान में उतरने के पहले तैयारी पूरी होनी चाहिए. We will do everything we can today to make sure you're ready, but we are only going to guide you. The efforts you have to put in. Yeah. So can you all promise me to put in the efforts? Not good enough. Can you all promise me? Yes. Yeah, that's more like it. Right. Well, quickly. I'm not going to talk too much about the countries. You guys already know. You've done your research before choosing the country. So we can just quickly run through these slides. UK, fantastic. From a cultural point of view, social experiences point of view, very, very diverse. You will have 100+ students studying in the universities. Those of you who are going to campus-based universities, fantastic campuses, great campus life, also very, very vibrant. The only thing that you may not like is a little weather, right? So during winters, it does get a little depressing, but through the year, I can promise you'll have a very good time there. You do something about this. About Ireland, one thing that I can guarantee about Ireland is it's one of the friendliest countries that you'll go to. Right? Ireland, like India, also got their independence from the UK, so they're very warm and welcoming people. So any other country that I compare it to, I find the most friendly. Again, great country, lot of opportunities, particularly for students who are going for IT, pharma, financial services. Great job opportunities also. Being a part of EU, it opens up the entire EU market also for you. Dubai, I think, is one of the most upcoming countries right now, where we are seeing a lot of student mobilization happening. The economy is growing at a very fast rate. The net migration is growing. So again, a land of opportunities, I feel, very close to home. So for parents, it's a very good spot to send their children. They're just at a 3-4 hour flight distance. So again, that comfort level is there. But again, a great destination to study in. We also have some students going to Germany. So again, Germany is a great place to study. Very, very cost effective compared to some of the other countries. Great for engineering courses in particular. One of the largest economies in the EU region and the third largest exporter in the world. So very big on manufacturing. So those who are going for manufacturing courses, mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, the scope is tremendous. Very important to understand the climate. The first advice I'll give you is if you're going to UK, Ireland or Germany, do not take the cold for granted. Most of you are going to travel in September, which is the onset of the winter season. And by December, January, the winter will be at its peak. So please don't be foolish. Make sure you're well protected. And all these 3 countries have very strong northern winds, right? So typically you should be protecting your chest area. That's very important that your chest is covered, right? You have gloves. And generally in these countries, people wear clothes in layers, right? Because the moment you enter any place, it's going to be centrally heated, right? So if you're not going to wear layers, you can't remove the layers, and you'll be very hot when you're entering your classroom or entering your accommodation or a shopping mall. So the trick is to dress in layers and have a very good, strong overcoat which is protecting your chest, because when the cold wind hits your chest, that is when you will have issues in terms of catching a cold or getting a fever. Yes, very highly possible that in the first 1.5 months you will fall ill once, because your body will adjust to the temperature. Then most of us come from a fairly warm environment or a very warm climate, so it will take you that adjustments. Parents, don't panic if your child is getting a cold or fever. That's just the first time they're putting themselves in that country and living there for a long time. That is going to happen for sure. For Dubai, not too much to worry. In fact, you're going to get the best weather of the year right now. It's going to be winter there, as good as very, very nice mild weathers. It's only the 3 months of summer that get a little difficult and gets really, really hot. But other than that, throughout the year, Dubai has good climate. Again, the summers in countries like UK, Ireland, Germany are very good. And every year we've seen the summers getting hotter. So summers are the time when you can really enjoy, be outdoors. But understand the climate and be prepared for the climate, both in terms of your preparation for the clothes you're carrying, and at the same time being mentally prepared. Trust me, when you have to wake up at 7 in the morning on a cold winter morning and walk to your class, it will be a pain. So be mentally prepared for that. At least, you wake up in the morning, get yourself nice and warm, and go out there in the cold so you can make it for your class. What are the major cities or areas in each of these places? Why we're covering this is that you should be aware of what are the top cities in these countries. So in case you're not studying in one of these cities, try to make a plan to visit these cities and acclimatize yourself in the cities, because when you're going to start your job hunt, these are the areas where you're going to get maximum job opportunities, right? So when you're starting the journey of applying for full-time jobs, make sure you're targeting some of these cities to get jobs, because these are the top cities and the chances of you getting good jobs, high-paying jobs, are much higher in some of these cities. Yeah, so whenever you feel you want to take a picture of the slide, there's no proprietary material, feel free to take pictures for your own records. Right, what are some of the key industries in some of these areas? So UK is very popular for IT in general, AI courses, data analytics, a lot of healthcare courses, hospitality, tourism, right? So these are some of the top industries that are trending right now in these countries, and we're seeing good job opportunities for students in these particular industries. When I say good job opportunities, does not mean that the job is going to come and fall in your lap. You will have to work hard to get that job. But generally, these are some of the sectors where we're seeing good movement, and the feedback that we're getting from our existing students who are now, getting into the job market, we're seeing that some of these sectors they're able to get jobs fairly easily. Similarly, there are top sectors for Ireland, Dubai, and Germany. You will find a lot of similarities between some of the sectors there, which means that most of these countries are offering certainly good opportunities for certain sectors. Right, the biggest question, what should I pack? What should I take along with me? Right, so the kits that we've given you has a detailed packing list, but we'll just run you through some of the important elements of a packing list. Number one, please create a nice folder with all your important documents, including your academic documents, your medical documents, any medical history you have, including that, right? Your driving license is a good idea to get an international driving license done. You will be able to use that international license for the first year, whichever country you go to. So you can rent a car, or you can, even if you buy a car, you'll be able to drive with the international license. So get that done. So all the documentation that you need, you make sure you put it in a nice folder. I would highly recommend laminating your mark sheets, laminating some of your important documents, because in case you ever happen to, be on a rainy day, you don't want to end up damaging your documents. So make sure you're collecting your documents and keeping them safely. Recommended that you carry it in your handbag, right? Because when you reach your destination, it's quite possible that the immigration officer might ask you to show them the documents. So keep it handy in your handbag, don't put it in your main luggage. Clothes. Common question I get is, what are the type of clothes that we should carry? Most universities will ask you to wear normal casuals, or I would say business casuals, or good casuals, right? Do not dress shabbily, because you're going to a new country. People are going to judge you by your appearance, right? So make sure you're presentable whenever you're going to your university, whenever you're going out. You need to be presentable for sure. You should carry some formal clothes. Recommended that you carry some business suits, because when you have presentations that you need to do during your projects, you are expected to wear formal clothes when you're going for interviews, whether it's for part-time jobs, internships, or full-time jobs. You are expected to wear suits again. So this kind of an attire is very, very welcome in most of these countries. And when you go fully dressed with a proper tie, a proper belt, you make a very good first impression, right? And yes, in these countries, they'll judge you by the first impression. So make sure that you're carrying a few good business formals along. That will be useful. Apart from that, depending on the country you're going to, please make sure you're taking a decent amount of warm clothes with you, which will suffice you at least for the first 1.5 months. Obviously, once you go there, you'll get used to the fashion there. You'll prefer shopping from there than India. But at least for the first 1.5 months, you don't want to go shop for the jacket because you don't want to keep yourself cold. So make sure you take a good over jacket to start with, especially when you're going to Germany, Ireland, or UK. Dubai again is very similar to India, so I don't think you need to carry a lot of warm clothes. You can just carry normal, usual, casual clothes, summer clothes. Right. Do carry your basic toiletries, so whatever you use for your personal hygiene, like deodorants. So the mental note you want to make is that if you're going to travel to some country for a month, right, and you don't want to shop anything from there, then you should carry enough essentials which will last you for the first 1 month. So right from toothpaste to deodorant to perfume, enough to last you for the first 1 month. Then after that, obviously, you can procure things locally. You don't want to overstuff your baggage with toiletries also. You want to carry essentials which are useful for at least for the 1 month. If you have any questions, I would recommend keep making notes. And then towards the end of the session, when we have the Q&A, we can open it up for questions. Electronics, I would recommend if you're planning to buy a laptop, especially for your education, then you buy it from there because there are great student discounts and you get VAT exemption. So you don't end up paying taxes as a student, right? So the electronics, especially laptops, will work out to be a lot cheaper. And also then you get the local support. So today if you buy a laptop from here, you may not get the warranty and support in that country unless you take international warranty, which a lot of devices now have. So whatever essential electronics you need, make sure you take them from here or you buy that there. You can do your own research on that. Phones you can take from here. All the phones are they work there, so you can buy a local SIM and use your phone that you're using. Or if you feel, you can then buy a phone from there also. That's up to you. Adapter is very important. Please take some convertible adapters. So if you're buying electronics from here, make sure you take the convertible adapter because your adapters there will not work. Your switches there will not work. So again, there are universal adapters that are available in the market, so you can just buy a couple of them, which will suffice you initially. Carry some stationery. Stationery is very expensive in these countries, right? So make sure you're carrying a few notebooks, which will be required during your lectures. Carry a few pens, pencils, erasers, some markers, highlighters. So basic stationery that will suffice you for the first 3 to 4 months. Utna definitely you carry. A lot of parents ask, what about food? So again, it's recommended that it's recommended that you at least try to cook one meal yourself, right? It will become a lot more cost effective, and how much will you eat outside, right? You'll get bored of the outside food at some point of time. So you're better off learning a little bit of cooking. If not, at least take some dehydrated food or figure out your meals because it will get expensive if you keep eating outside. So even from a utensils point of view, we recommend take some basic utensils like a couple of plates, couple of bowls, spoons, a small pan, a small rice cooker, right? So that you have enough essentials to kind of be able to cook on your own, or even kind of at least even if you're ordering takeaway, you have the basic essentials to kind of serve for yourself. Again, later there are very reasonable stores out there which you can buy more crockery and more utensils from. But at least the basic kit you should carry with yourself initially. Very, very important, please make a full-fledged first aid kit. We have given all the medicines that you should be carrying, so very basic medicines for fever, cold, cough, loose motions, Combifan for pain. So carry one basic first aid kit which has all the essential medicines that you will need. In most of these countries, medicines are not available off the counter without a prescription. Right? India, that's not going to happen there. If you go there, they will say, where is the prescription? They only mostly give you medication on the basis of a prescription. So it's better you have some basic medication with you. Also very important, whatever medicine you're carrying, make sure you have a prescription to support it. In case the immigration opens your bag and sees medicines there without a prescription, they might think they are unauthorized drugs, right? And this is happening to many students of ours. So make sure that you are carrying a prescription signed by the doctor, stamped by a doctor, and keep it along with your first aid kit. So in case the immigration officer opens it up or the customs open it up, you can say these are the medicines and here is the prescription for the medicines. Yeah, this is very important, guys. First aid kit, please do not take it lightly. You can carry some food, some basic, it's very popular, this dehydrated food or, frozen fruit where you can just kind of put it in boiling water and it's ready to eat. So that's very popular. You can look at those choices. When I personally travel, I carry that. Being Jain, I have to eat vegetarian, so it's very difficult to find pure veg food in a lot of places. So again, that's where these kind of things become essential. You can carry some basic spices along with you, so in case you want to cook, again you have a basic utility kit available with you. Right, and then regular things like sunglasses. Please do carry an umbrella, especially those of you who are going to Ireland and UK. It is a wet country, it rains at any point of time. You can't trust the weather there. It will be nice and sunny. By the time you have a bath and come out, it will be pouring. Right? So it's always handy to have an umbrella. So do carry that for sure. Apart from that, you can, sun protection, I would highly recommend for the summers. The layer of whatever, the UV layer is quite less there. So the sun feels much harsher and it really burns very quickly compared to a country like ours, right? So make sure that you are protecting yourself from the sun, especially in the summers there. Power bank, any other gadgets that you feel are essential, especially for your education, so your iPads and headphones, iPhones, whatever you think you need, please make sure you carry it. What not to carry? Very obvious: drugs, weapons, pepper spray. Yeah, so we've had, like some girls who carried a pepper spray thinking they use it for their protection there, but it's not allowed. So please do not carry that. It can put you in some sort of a trouble at the immigration. Also, like I said, that whatever medicines you're carrying, any sort of drugs you're carrying, make sure they're supported by a prescription. Otherwise, they can be considered unauthorized drugs. Very important, avoid carrying any dairy products. Right? A lot of countries do not allow dairy products because you carry bacteria with you, and that may be harmful for their environment. So dairy products is something you should ideally avoid. And whatever you carry, do not carry anything loose. Even if food you're carrying, अरे मम्मी के घर का अचार लेके जाना है, तो आप किसी loose डब्बे में लेके जाओगे. No, make sure you take it to the market and get it sealed back. And there should be a badge on that, the ingredient badge. Right? So ideally, I would not recommend taking anything that is home packed. Whatever you want to purchase from the market, and make sure it has a badge on it talking about what the ingredients of that content are. Because again, if the customers pull you off and you have something where you cannot describe what the content is, that will be troublesome. And please make sure the content is in English, not in Hindi or Marathi again. Yeah, you'll have a hard time explaining it. Right, planning your luggage is again very important. So make sure you're planning well in advance in terms of the weight. So first and foremost, yes, most airlines are very, very finicky when it comes to weight. Right? Even if you're 1.5 kg overweight, they'll charge you for it, and they're expensive. So I would say make sure you get a small measuring scale or something. A lot of airports now have that, right? So you plan your baggage accordingly. Also, do check with your airline before you book your tickets, or even after you book your tickets. All students typically will get 28 kgs of extra baggage allowance, right? So you will in totality have about 45 to 50 kgs of baggage allowance and plus 7 kgs of hand baggage allowance. So if in case your airline has not given that, what you do is call their customer service and tell them, I'm going on a student visa. Maybe while buying your tickets, you've not told them you're going on a student visa. Right? So the moment you give them a copy of your student visa, they'll be able to increase the baggage allowance for you. 99% of the airlines will do that except for these budget airlines. My sincere advice would be to book with an airline that is giving you that extra baggage allowance, because you will need it. You may think you don't need it, but you will need it. In fact, you will go overweight for sure. Right? So make sure you again measure your bag or weigh your bag before you go. Right? Pocket essentials. So again, all the basic, clothes, toiletries, medicines, phone charger. Very important, secure your baggage. So you get TCA approved locks, right? These are internationally recognized. So if you put a local lock, that may cause issues. So you get TCA approved locks. Make sure you lock your bags with that. So you will be having expensive things in your bag. So you don't want somebody to open up your bag and steal that, right? There have been instances in the past. Also, one advice from a baggage point of view: try to take a direct flight. right? Maximum issues with baggage happen or they get lost when you're taking a via flight. So I know in some cases you might find direct flight slightly more expensive, but it's the first time some of you are traveling on your own. You want the journey to be as smooth as possible, so you don't want any hiccups. I was traveling to Europe very recently, and my baggage has been misplaced twice. Right, so yeah, airlines can be very tricky when it comes to baggage. So you're better off taking a direct flight, even if it's a little more expensive, it's worth it. Very important, keep your electronics in your handbag. Do not put any electronics, especially a laptop, in the main baggage. They'll pull it out. All electronics need to be in your handbag, and when you're going to the security check, you need to remove all the electronics and then scan your hand baggage. Please pack according to the destination you're going to. So if you're going to UK and Germany, please make sure you have a jacket handy, because the moment you walk out of the airport, you will be cold, right? So make sure you are very good to make that journey from the airport to your accommodation, right? You don't want to catch a cold the very first day you land there. Right, very important, also take a digital backup of all your documents. So make sure you have proper scanned copies. I think most of you would have scanned your documents and send it to us. But make sure you're storing it somewhere on a cloud or a Google Drive, because at any point of time, if you want to access your documents and you don't have your original documents handy, then at least you have those copies with you. Right, what are the essential things you need to do before you depart? Firstly, do as much research as you can. You're going to a new country, the culture is going to be different, the weather is going to be different, the people are going to be different, the transportation rules are going to be different, the legal aspects are going to be different. So you need to be mentally prepared to understand what you're getting into. And today you guys are blessed to have super fast internet connections. Right? When I went to study in the UK, we didn't have the internet. So can you imagine how people like us would have done our research? Very, very difficult. It's only relying on people and talking to people. Right? So please make sure you're doing thorough research. Right? So if your university is say located in London, for example, so what street of London is it located in? What are the surrounding areas? What are the shopping places that are nearby? Right? You have Google Places now, or Google Streets, which gives you an actual 3D view of what's there. So acclimatize yourself as much as you can to the country, because when you land there, you will not feel like an outsider there. You will already have a lot of knowledge which you will typically gain after reaching there, but if you have that knowledge prior to going there, again your transition will be a lot easier. Like there are small cultural differences. For example, most of you, when you meet me, you call me sir. Now, if you call your professor sir in UK or Ireland, he'll say, don't call me sir, I'm not a knight. So only people who are knighted are called, you can call them sir. Otherwise, you have to call them by their name, or first name, or Mr. or Mrs. last name. So that's a small cultural difference, right, which we don't know of. But these are the things that you need to learn before you go. Most of these countries are crazy about being on time. How many of you are here at 4:30 today? Give me a raise of hands. Right, that's less than 40% of the people. If you are going for a meeting in these countries, or you're going for a job interview, and your job interview or meeting is at 10 o'clock, you're expected to be there 5 minutes before 10. If you are even late by a couple of minutes, your first impression is gone. There are times when they will refuse to do your interview because you're late. They say, sorry, you're late for your interview. Either reschedule or they say, sorry, we can't interview you. Right? So value time. Time is very, very essential there. So these are again small cultural differences I'm talking about. Right? We Indians love breaking queues. Right? We'll be like, thoda aage. Right? Breaking queues is very offensive there. Right? Most countries would have a fast lane and a slow lane. So if you're on an escalator, for example, so people who want to stand on the escalator and don't want to go fast would stand on the right side. And people who are in a hurry you are expected to leave that left side open for them so they can go fast. Right? So these are very basic things which you will have to adjust to. But again, if you kind of watch a lot of YouTube videos, there are tremendous number of pages you can follow on Insta. You will get this knowledge prior. So the more prepared you are, the less you'll feel like an outsider. And even the others will respect that. Okay, he's not an outsider. He's probably been living here for a while. So you'll get more respect as well. Very, very important that you read up about your program. Right? Try and look up what are the modules that you're going to learn, what is going to be taught to you, and you still have a month to maybe take up some short courses which are complementing that program. Right? So today if I'm going for a marketing course maybe, I would go through the modules. If I see that digital marketing is a module that is an offer, then maybe I can go to Coursera and do a small course on digital marketing so that I'm already well versed with that topic and I can perform better during my program. Right? Today, I already have a fair idea of that topic. I will catch on to the knowledge given quickly. I'll perform better in my assignments, better in my modules. Right? So you still have a month. So there is a lot of homework and academic work you can put in before you actually start your journey. And I can promise you, if you're not going to stand out academically, you will not get good jobs, guys. You have to stand out and perform well in your courses. So the only way to succeed is to ensure that you're cracking your courses, impressing your professors, and doing a good job and actually studying there, right? Yes, some of you are going for the exposure, the experience. Yes, go out there, have the social experiences also, go with friends, be a tourist for a while, but at the same time, you need to be serious about what you're doing. You're going there to study. Everything else comes after that. So your priorities need to be your studies. Right? Join social groups to connect with other students. So today you have a fantastic opportunity to meet other students that are going to the same country. So try to connect with them, try to get to know them so that once you reach there, you already have a bit of a social group that you can rely on. More importantly, you can even connect to alumni. You can connect to other students that are already there, have been studying there for a while, people who are living there. Networking in any country is key, right? So why can't you start your networking now? There are multiple Facebook groups you'll find, multiple LinkedIn groups that you'll find. Connect with people on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever is your comfortable social media channel. But the idea is to speak to people and say, listen, I'm a student, I'm coming there. I would love to catch up with you. So what do you do? Can you tell me a little about yourself? So that is also getting out of your comfort zone. Like today, we'll be like in India, hey, who's this guy approaching me and who's this person approaching me? Why is he, trying to be friends with me? Your initial reaction will be, oh, stay away. That's not the case there. People are generally very friendly and very approachable, right? So try to approach people now so that when you go there, you already have a bit of a social network that you build for yourself. And trust me, your network is your net worth, right? So the bigger the network you have, the better chances of you. Right? Very important, organize all your important documents. Like I have seen students fumble at the immigration. Right? Suddenly immigration officer asks, give me your 10th standard certificate. And this should I not find my 10th standard certificate? Right? So make sure you're organizing your documents nicely, putting the nice tags, take your parents' help if required. But organize your documents in a good file folder and carry it with you. Once you reach your destination, make sure you're keeping it safe. You don't need to carry your documentation around everywhere. You will need your original documents when you go to enroll at the university. So make sure you have all your original documents. Without the original documents, the university will not enroll you. So make sure you're carrying your original documents, and once you're done verifying your documents with the university, you don't need your original documents after that. So in your room or in your accommodation, keep it in a safe place so that you don't lose them. Like our students who lost their passports, our students who lost their BRP cards, and yeah, they get into all sorts of trouble there. So keep your things very, very safe. Look into the local job market, acclimatize yourself as much as you can to the job market there, both in terms of part-time jobs, internships, and full-time jobs. Again, there are numerous portals, numerous platforms available to do that. We do have a couple of slides where we'll be focusing only on jobs, so we'll cover more about jobs there. Again, network with other students, network with students who are already there. Reach out to that old relative of yours, or reach out to that mama, chacha who migrated to some country long ago, and connect with them, right? There are a lot of social organizations also, right? So, for example, for Jains, there is a GITO chapter in most of these countries, so they can join the chapter there. Similarly, a lot of communities have their community presence there, right? So they would have some kind of a social organization that is, kind of hosting events or supporting the community there. So take up some research and see, does your community have some presence in that city or in that country, and be a part of that, because then you'll be able to build your network of your own people as well. And today the community will support you a lot more, right? At the same time, you also want to interact with others. So you want to make friends from other countries, you want to get to know about new cultures, but don't forget your roots. Also be friendly to the people who have been living there for long. They might be able to help you both in terms of part-time jobs, full-time jobs. You never know what connect will hit where. Right? Very important, complete any dental treatment that we need to do. So if you have that cavity that's been hanging there, you have capping that needs to be done, or you need to get your teeth cleaned. Dental services are super expensive, and your medical insurance does not cover dental treatment. It only covers accidental dental treatment. So, कोई accident हुआ है और आपके दांत टूट गए, they'll cover that, right? But if you are saying, oh, I have a cavity and I want to get this fixed, insurance will not cover it, right? And dental is very, very expensive in all these countries. For some dental treatment, people actually pay for a flight, come here, get it done, and go back, and it's still cheaper, right? So you have a month, whatever dental treatment you need, please get it done. If there are any medical issues that you're facing right now, any kind of treatment that you need to complete, make sure you're doing it before you go. Very, very interesting thing you can do is a starter kit. So a lot of companies provide starter kits which would have basic bedding, pillow covers, pillows, some basic utensils, right? So if you find a good company that can, you can order a starter kit with, that can be useful, that will reduce the baggage that you need to carry from here. So you can even order a starter kit and it will get delivered to your accommodation a day prior to you reaching. So you can specifically mention your arrival details and they will deliver it on that day or one day before that. So the moment you reach there, you have a starter kit that can get you going. Now I have students who forgot to order a quilt, and you can't sleep in some of these countries without a quilt because it's a cold place, right? So so be prepared for these kind of situations. Very important, visa मिल गया मतलब entry guarantee नहीं है, right? The immigration, you have to clear immigration in most of these countries. I would say between all the countries, Dubai is probably the most relaxed, but UK, Germany, Ireland, their immigration is quite strict, and they typically ask questions. The immigration will ask you questions like, what program are you going for? What university are you going for? What is, where is your accommodation located? Where is your campus located? I've had immigration officer ask the student, okay, so how are you tracking from the airport? And the student is blank. Like, I didn't think of that question. Right? So again, in the kit that we've given you a more elaborate list of questions. It's quite possible the immigration officer may drill you, and it's quite possible he may just ask you one question and let you go. Depends on his mood, depends on, I don't know what factors, we've never been able to figure it out. But be mentally prepared for questions to be asked at the immigration, and please answer honestly, because you're not going there to do anything wrong. You have all the information with you. So whatever questions they ask you, make sure you're prepared for that. Again, if you feel you need some help on this front, you're welcome to contact your counselors, and they can do a mock interview with you or just run you through the questions again. The way we prepared some of you for the CAS interviews, we can do the same for this as well. Some very important arrival tasks. Please inform your parents the moment you reach. Right? We've had parents calling us at midnight. Oh, we've not heard from our child. We don't know whether he's reached or not reached. Right? So the moment you land, the moment you get out of the aircraft, most airports that you're going to go to will have internet connections, free internet connections. So please connect to the Wi-Fi. Make sure your phone is fully charged. You not discharge your phone on the flight, watching Netflix, something on your phone. Right? Keep enough charge on your phone. You may need to contact your driver. You may need to contact your meet and greet service, whatever that you have fixed before. On arrival, you need to contact that person. So you need a fully charged phone for that as well. But very important that you first inform your family that you've reached. You inform your counselor you reached. We would also like to know, yes, आप safely पहुंच गए हो, तो हमारा 90% job खत्म हो गया अभी, right? So you also like to know that you reached safely. But very important, if you can keep your phone roaming on for a couple of days, do that, because then it's very, very easy. There are companies like Thomas Cook does provide SIM card. So if you want to take a SIM card from here, you can even have an international SIM card with you. The idea is that be reachable, right? You have no idea how scary it can be for parents when they don't hear from you that you reached or not reached. Right? Today with technology, people are tracking flights, people put air tags. Like when I travel, I put air tags on my kids, so I know all the time where they are. But yeah, the idea is that make sure you inform the moment you land. Please contact your pickup. So if you booked a cab to go to your accommodation, or you book the meet and greet service. So majority of the UK universities and a few German universities would also offer what we call a meet and greet service, where it's free of cost. So they would have certain dates and certain slots that are there, where the university bus will come and pick you up and take you to the university accommodation. This is the best way to kind of get dropped at the university, because you will meet other students also while you're traveling to the university. So again, your social experiences are starting from day one, and you're saving money also, because a cab would cost you anywhere between 25 pounds to 100 pounds depending on what the distance from the airport is. So most universities do offer this service. So reach out to your counselor, they'll be able to guide you with this process. It's a very simple form that you need to fill up. Most university websites, if you just type meet and greet service on Google and your university name, you'll get the page and you can enroll for the meet and greet service. The only criteria is you have to travel or arrive during the slots that they have fixed. Right? So थोड़ा 1-2 घंटा ऊपर नीचे उसमें हो सकता है. Collect whatever documentation that you need to collect. Fortunately, now the documentation that needs to be collected is very limited. So make sure that whatever processes that you need to do in terms of documentation, please complete that. First and foremost, please go enroll at the university. Do not delay that process. Right? They have different enrollment slots that are available. Make sure you enroll at the university. Make sure you attend their campus tour. Make sure you attend the fresher events that they're hosting. So my recommendation would be if your course is starting say on the 20th, go at least 4 to 5 days prior to your course start date, because there are a lot of events that are happening at the university which are catered towards giving you a lot of knowledge about the university, giving you knowledge about the services that they have for you as an international student, acclimatizing you to the location. And once you go there, you want to be a tourist for a while, right? You want to get to know your city, you want to get to know your surroundings, because once you start your classes, you start your part-time work, you're going to have a 16-hour day every day. You will not get time. Right? So before you get into the grind and get into a routine, it's a good idea to be a tourist for the first few days and say, okay, let me enjoy the city, let me absorb the people here, the culture here, get to know everything that there is to know about the city. Very important, register yourself with a local doctor there. That's a mandatory requirement. Right? So in case of UK, it's absolutely mandatory. In case of Germany also, it's mandatory. Because in Ireland also, it's mandatory. Dubai, not so much. If you do not register yourself with a local GP there, in case you want to claim insurance, they are the ones who sign off your insurance, right? So if you're not registered, you may not even get treatment at the right time. So that's a very important step. Again, the university will give you the documents that are required to register as a GP. Open your bank account. So it's highly recommended that you open a local bank account there, and whatever funds that parents need to send, you can send it directly to their bank accounts. You can also take forex cards. Now the forex card facilities are fantastic, and the forex cards they work like debit cards where you can swipe them at any retail mall, restaurants. So yes, I find forex card a little more convenient for myself, where the parents can top up the money here and the money would reflect on the forex card for the student to use there. But yeah, it's a good idea to have a local bank account also, because once you get a job, the employer is not going to pay you on the forex card. He's going to pay you in a bank account, right? So do open a bank account as well. Can you change the settings so it doesn't go off? Right, some more important post-arrival tasks. Please understand how the healthcare system works. The healthcare system there is very, very different in most of these countries. So make sure in your university, you will have a desk that will give you information on how the healthcare works. So make sure you're upgraded on that knowledge, because if in case you are in any emergency, you should know what is the number to call, number one, and you should know what to give them. So in case of UK, you have to give your NI number. In case of Ireland, whatever is your insurance ID number, you need to give that. Right? In Germany, you get your insurance with your block account. So again, the details are with that. So you should be aware that in case of an emergency, a medical emergency, you need to take treatment. How you go about taking that treatment? What is the right process for that? What is the number to call? So make sure you're aware of that. It's going to be different for every country, but that information is very easily available. We already spoke about getting familiar with the campus, the surroundings. Go roam around in the high street, check out the stores. What are the cheap stores? What are the expensive stores? Where are you getting Indian food? Where can you get takeaways from? Right? Again, see, get to know your surroundings. You might see a requirement in some retail store looking for people to work. Go drop your CV there. So the more you acclimatize to the place, the easier it will be in terms of how quickly you can transition yourself to be a local there, where you can talk, walk like a local and someone who will be living there for a while. So that's also very important. Very important, explore your campus resources. Many a time students are not aware of what services the campus offers. Right? I have had students who've been there for 6 months and they were happy to talk to me. Sir, job ka thoda dekhiye na. I said, have you gone to the careers team in your university? He's like, oh, I didn't know there's a careers team. right? So during your orientation at the university, make proper notes of what are the things that you can use as a student, what are your rights as a student, right? Most universities will have a student service department as well. They might call it different in every university, but they'll have someone who can cater you to your needs. They even have counseling services for international students, right? So today, if you're going through any sort of a depression, you're going through anxiety, you're not able to cope up academically, or you want basic guidance on where to shop from, right? There are counselors who will guide you. There are international offices that will guide you. There are campus ambassadors who will guide you. So be aware of what are the services you're eligible for. A lot of them provide free IT services. So today, if you want to install a software on your laptop, which is essential for your assignment, the IT department will install it for free. There's free IT support provided to students. Some offer language support, right? So if you are going in Germany, for example, a lot of German universities will give you free language classes. A lot of British universities will give you language classes for other languages, right? So see if you're eligible for any free language support. They have academic support as well, right? So today, if you're struggling with your assignments, you're struggling academically, you need some tutoring, you need some support on that. Again, academic support is available. So when you go for your orientation, make a proper list of what are the support functions that you can utilize as a student, because you never know when you need them. Yeah. Very, very important to enjoy your student life, guys. This opportunity will not come back, right? I can promise you, there are some of my students here who might come on stage later and share their experience. But I can promise you that this will be one of the best years of your life, right? So you want to live it also fully. While you want to study, you want to put in the hard work, you want to live it fully. So, go out there, get out of your comfort zone. Don't be a typical introvert, be an extrovert, meet people from different countries, be a part of your university societies, clubs, participate in events that are happening, take initiative. Right? So today the professor says, oh, I want someone to volunteer for this. Raise your hand and say, yes, I will volunteer for it. Right? Because you'll put yourself out there, you'll make yourself visible, automatically your chances of succeeding will be better. So do not be an introvert, be an extrovert. We Indians, unfortunately, are by nature introverts, especially when we go to a foreign country. Suddenly, our Indian charge around with them, I don't know, I call it white skin phobia. Right? When we see white skin, we get fascinated or we get scared. Right? Please get out of that. You are welcome as international students. All these countries want you to come there. You are contributing to their economy. You are contributing to their GDP. Right? So take pride in that. Boss, I'm coming here. I'm doing a favor on you guys by coming here. Right? That's the attitude you want to have. At the same time, the Indian community now is very, very respected in these countries. When I used to study in the UK, I used to get called Paki all the time. Right? Because they didn't know the difference between a Pakistan and India. For them, we were all the same. Or other all Southeast Asian were the same for them. But that's not the case anymore. The Indian community, some credit to our Prime Minister for putting us out there on the maps, where the Indian communities are also some of the strongest communities there in terms of their businesses. In many of the countries, we are part of their democracy now, we are part of their constitution now, we are part of politics now. So we are a respected community. So obviously do things with pride, make our community prouder there. Don't go do something which will make us shameful. Yeah? So again, take pride in that. Yeah, it's very important, keep your passport and your documents safely. You don't need to carry your passport around. No, you will need only your passport for two things. One is to enroll at the university, second is to open your bank account. After that, you're not going to need your passport, so please don't carry it everywhere. Yes, if you're traveling outside the country, you're going to Europe, you're going somewhere else, to some other country, then please carry it. But otherwise, don't keep carrying your passport around, you're not going to require it. Your student ID is what you have, your student ID is normally sufficient. Okay, very quickly on UK has changed their process now. Now they're issuing an e-visa. Before this, they used to issue something called a BRP card, and you have to keep that card with you all the time. So once you get your visa and once you enroll at the university, you have to create an account with the UKVI and just update your details, your visa details, your enrollment details, and then you have an e-visa copy. You can download that into a PDF and keep it handy on your phone. You can also print and keep a handy copy for yourself. So whenever you're leaving the country or coming back into the country, your e-visa will suffice. So you will no longer have a stamp of the visa on your passport, it's going to be an e-visa. Again, if you want more details on how to do this process, you can get in touch with your counselors. They're well versed with the process and they'll help you for sure. Similarly, in Germany, once you arrive, you have to register yourself, your address, and your university details have to be registered. That's absolutely mandatory. You will need to activate your block account. So before you applied for your visa, you've created a block account. You have to activate that. So there's a process for that again. Please ensure that you have a valid health insurance. So UK provides their own health insurance. Additionally, you can have travel insurance. I highly recommend you should have travel insurance. Similarly, for Ireland, Germany, and Dubai, you need to have medical insurance separately, which you can buy from any of the providers. Again, our counselors can guide you what are the different providers. There are a lot of online portals which you can compare and buy. And also, I recommend taking a basic travel insurance because medical insurance will only cover you medically. But today, if you lose your wallet, you lose your laptop, if something gets stolen, that does not get covered. Right? So having travel, if your baggage gets lost, for example, again, that does not get covered. So I would highly advise that travel insurance, while it's very reasonable, take it. You never know how much compensation you get in case of, or how much loss you'll have in case you actually lose something. Right? In case of Dubai, similarly, your Emirate ID has to be made. So again, the university will help you with this entire process. You have to register at the university. Most of the universities have the counter in the university itself, so you have to go to the external body to get that process completed. The university will help you with that, but this is very important. The moment you have enrolled with the university, make sure you get your Emirate ID because that is your proof that you are as a student visa or you're on a student visa there. Right? In general, how's the student life in UK? Very, very enriching. Socially, very, very rewarding. Those of you who are going in London, it's a very fast-paced life. Apart from that, all the top cities again offer a very vibrant life there. A lot of Indian community presence, but also a lot of nationalities now in the second generation there. So it's a melting pot of culture. A lot of learning opportunities. Great for travel. So lovely places to travel all across UK. So as a student, I would say every third weekend or every once a month, try and go away for a weekend, try and explore some new destination. You'll go to places that you've probably never seen before in your life. And trust me, it's again a part of the entire experience of studying in a foreign country. Great on culture, right? So some of you who enjoy history, enjoy museums, enjoy culture in general, drama, theatre, again, tremendous opportunities there. Very, very big on culture and general arts also. Sports, very big on sports again, right? So if you're a football fan, you're a cricket fan, tremendous opportunities to watch some lovely games. Huge on the sporting culture, so those of you who are sports fanatics, you'll have a good time there. Yes, great on shopping as well, known as one of the most popular shopping destinations. It is on the expensive side, but there are a lot of, I would say, cost-effective brands as well. Academically, yes, very research-oriented. So a lot of times, your majority of your work will be through assignments. That would be the case with Ireland also, that will be the case with Dubai also, to a great extent Germany also, where your academics are very research oriented and most of the work you have to do in form of assessment is assignments. You're not going to be assessed by written papers, right? So get out of the habit of mugging up and going and writing an exam. That's not going to happen. Your learning is going to be more engaging. It's going to be through assignments where you have to exhibit multiple skills, right? From research skills to to the ability to write and explain what you're doing. Right? Relatively safe country, I would say, very strong on etiquettes, very strong on values. The British are known for being by the book, right? So a very gentlemanish kind of people in general, very proud with their culture, very proud of their history. So again, be aware of that aspect. Do not do anything to disrespect people there. Racism is very frowned upon there. While I would say the British themselves are racist to a great extent, but it's something that's very frowned upon. So don't make any racist remarks on people. That does not go down well in general. General courtesy is very important. So today, if you go to a shop in India, you'll say, "Arey bhaiya, ye de do." Yeah, we will say, "Boss, can I have this?" That's the typical tone we speak in, right? If we see a waiter, we'll go, "Arey boss, ye de kya?" But there you have to use the word please a lot, and this is true for all European countries. There will be times if you're asking for something and you don't say please, that person will actually tell you, "Can you say please?" Right? So general courtesy, etiquettes are very, very important. Coming to safety, which is something that a lot of parents would generally be a lot worried, but we have a separate slide on that, so we'll cover some of the safety aspects there. Ireland, again, very similar to UK in many senses because it used to be a part of UK years ago. So the culture, the overall feel of Ireland is very similar to UK. So culturally, sports-wise, you'll find it very similar to UK. A lot more friendly compared to the UK. The people are far more fun-loving. Those of you who like live music or in general are fond of music, so it's one of the best destinations for live music. The good thing is that Ireland is very concentrated in terms of population in 3 cities. So Dublin, Cork, I can't remember the third one. They contribute to the 75% of the population, right? So majority of the population is in the big cities. So that way you get a good diverse experience also. And again, decent amount of Indian community there. Indian food is very easily available. So yeah, Ireland also will offer great opportunities both on social front as well as professional front. Dubai, I think sometimes you will not feel you're in a foreign country, you might feel you're in India only because a lot of Indians there, a lot of Southeast Asian there, most of the cab drivers will speak Hindi there, right? So very easy for students to transition, but at the same time, the country offers amazing infrastructure, great quality of life, and when I talk about safety, it's one of the safest countries I've ever been to, right? Very, very safe. So again, great opportunities, great social experiences you'll have. Now they're attracting students from almost 30 plus countries. So your universities have students from North African countries, from Eastern European countries, and the rest of MENA region, right? So again, quite diverse, not as diverse as maybe a UK Ireland or a Germany, but fairly diverse in terms of the audience as well. And a lot of expat crowds. So a lot of people from the US working there, a lot of people from the UK working there, Europe working there. Very big on tourism. Some amazing events that you can attend, whether it's cultural events, whether it's sporting events, and Dubai is very big on trade shows, right? They host the biggest trade show on earth. So again, great opportunities for people who are looking to start their own business or maybe kind of set up their family business there. So great opportunities on that front also. So make sure you're attending all the events that are happening there because those events can be massive eye openers. Whether it's new technology, whether it's learning about something new, but at the same time, it's great for networking also. Again, student life in Germany, very vibrant. It is opened up to the world fairly recently, I would say. So Germans generally are a little uptight compared to some of the other nationalities. But yeah, some of the big cities now are very, very cosmopolitan. They have opened up to the world. So there are a lot of international students that are now studying there. So again, great on the social experiences. Very popular for various festivals that they host. And being a part of Central Europe, great travel opportunities for you across, right? So you could do like a train journey to Belgium, a train journey to Amsterdam, Netherlands. So there are a lot of places you can travel in like 4-hour train journey kind of a distance, and so great travel opportunities for sure. Right, academic success, guys. This is very, very important. Attendance is very, very, very important. I've had students who've been deported because their attendance has not been up to the mark. Please understand this, and I would request everyone's attention on this. You're going there as an international student. Your university is supporting a student visa. And if your university reports to the respective immigration body that your attendance is not up to the mark, they can actually deport you. And legally, they'll be right in doing that. There are no proxies there. 90% of the universities will take a biometric attendance. Sorry. So yeah, you can't tell your friend that mera proxy margin, right? They will take a biometric attendance. If your attendance drops below 90%, the university will first give you a warning to get your attendance up to the mark. If your attendance still does not improve, they will give you a second warning. After that, they will report you to the UKVI or the Ireland immigration or whichever respective immigration body that they have to report to, and they could revoke your visa. So please do not take this risk. I've had students who've fallen into trouble for this. They've been deported. The university has withdrawn their visa, and they're very serious about this. And please, India की तरह नहीं है कि चलो कुछ setting हो जाएगा, किसी को रोज होके हम convince कर लेंगे. No, that's not going to happen. They are very, very sticklers when it comes to rules and regulations, and nobody will bend rules there in any of these countries, right? So please don't take it lightly. We are used to a system where we know how to bend rules all the time. We've been brought up in that manner. कि जुगाड़ कर लेंगे कुछ ना कुछ, right? जुगाड़ is in our blood, but जुगाड़ does not work there, guys. So when it comes to attendance, please do not take it lightly. Make sure you maintain 90+%. In fact, there's no reason why you should be maintaining 100%. The classes are not so rigorous. You're going to have typically 3 to 4 hours of classes on a daily basis, 4 to 5 days a week, right? So it's not as crazy as India where you're attending classes for 9 hours. So please attend. Familiarize yourself with the education system and the grading system particularly. The grading system is different there. So you should know how the assignments are marked, what is the grading system that's on offer. So the department that provides academic support can also give you clarity on how the grading system works. So whatever course you're enrolled for, make sure you go to the academic department and try to understand how the grading system is going to work. Again, a lot of emphasis there is on practical learning. Like I said, most of your work and assessment will happen through practicals. These could be group assignments, this could be individual assignments, it could be research assignments, project reports that you have to write. Your final phase of studies will have a dissertation, right? So it's all going to be practical. So get prepared to put in the hours to do research on your own, spending time in the library to do your research, and a lot of self-studies is there. So in fact, when you get your timetable, you'll be surprised to see time slots created for self-studies because they expect you to put in those hours to work on your assignments, right? And do not take your assignments lightly. Do not copy paste from the internet. There's a pointer that talks about plagiarism. Plagiarism is a criminal offense in these countries. It's a criminal offense. So if you're caught doing plagiarism is nothing but copying people's work. So today, if you made an assignment जहाँ पे आपने 60% internet से copy करके चिपका दिया है, right? They have plagiarism software that will detect plagiarism, and they will fail you in your assignment, and they will report you to the academic department saying this guy has done plagiarism, and the university will be well within their rights to even cancel your admission or terminate you. So please do not take plagiarism lightly. Again, go to the academic department. They give you support on research. Unfortunately, we don't know how to do research. Our education institutes don't teach you how to do research. So for the first few months, you get confused कि research करे कैसे, assignments बनाए कैसे, what is primary research, what is secondary research. You will not understand these things, right? So either you research online about it now before you go, so you have a fair understanding of how the assignments work. There is a lot of information available online, especially on YouTube again, right? Also go to the academic department and try to understand how the assignments need to be done. Be fearless and ask your professor for help, right? Don't shy away from asking for help from anyone. Your seniors can help you. So again, if you network with some alumni who have studied in the UK or studied in Germany or Ireland, you can speak to them and find out whether by assignments कैसे किए थोड़ा guide करो, right? So again, do not take your assignments lightly. That is where your marks will be decided. That is where will be decided whether you pass those modules or not. Again, develop a positive relationship with your faculty. So you'll be surprised to know a lot of faculty in these countries are also working professionals. So many times you will find people who are board members of some companies who are working part-time and teaching part-time. Some of them are doing research. A lot of them are PhD holders, so they are doing research for some companies. So they actually have a great network themselves. So today, if you become what we call a teacher's pet, right, you kind of become married to your faculty and you're in their good books, you never know what kind of doors they can open for you. One recommendation from there can go a long way in getting you a job, right? So again, have that relationship with your faculty, try to be, in their good books because that can help you tremendously. Submission deadlines, very important, guys. If your deadline is of 15th of August, after 12 AM, the system will not allow you to submit your assignment. It's as simple as that. फिर तुम प्रोफेसर के पास जाओ या एकेडमिक हेड के पास जाओ, कितना भी रोना धोना करना है, जो भी मेडिकल डॉक्यूमेंट दिखाना है, कुछ भी दिखाओ, they will not listen. Because they have given you the deadlines right from day one. So you will get your entire first semester schedule on day one. What are your timetables? When are your classes going to happen? And for each module, how many assignments you have to do, and when are those assignments due. So please keep at least a 24 to 48 hour buffer in your hand, because you may have to go through some last minute changes. Some universities give you a second chance where when you submit it to the first time and they detect plagiarism, they will say you reduce the plagiarism and resubmit it. Some universities only, not all, right? So again, if that happens, you need to have time to again redo your assignment, reduce the plagiarism and submit it. So keep a buffer of at least 2 days in hand. Do not wait till the last minute to submit your assignments. Again, we've spoken enough about plagiarism, so I'm not going to talk about it again. Plagiarism is nothing but copying other person's work, whether it's from the internet, whether it's from a book. They have tremendously good plagiarism software and they catch it. All universities now have AI detectors as well. So please do not use ChatGPT to make your assignments. Yes, you can use ChatGPT to understand points or to at least give you some direction. But do not copy paste what ChatGPT is telling you and put that on your assignment, because they will detect AI very, very easily. Study diligently. I'm sure your parents are spending a bomb to send you to these countries. They're going way beyond their financial means to make this happen for you. Respect what they've done for you. There are hundreds like you who have not got this opportunity because their parents have not been able to support them. So you're privileged that you're getting this opportunity. Make the most of it. Be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself academically. Right? If you don't study well, you don't get a good score, your chances of getting a good job are going to be bad, guys. The academics play a very important role. More than the university you're going to, your performance plays a more important role. So make sure you are keeping that up to the mark. Right, some quick pro tips. Don't overpack. Is that a cat or a baby? You want to listen? Right, so don't overpack, carry whatever is essential. Everything is available in these countries. You are not going to some gaon. सब कुछ मिलता है वहाँ पे. Yes, थोड़ा सा महंगा मिलेगा, but instead of overpacking and carry, it's better that you carry limited things that you're going to use. Plan your budget carefully, guys. These countries are expensive. We've seen the cost of living go up very, very drastically in the last couple of years, especially because of the inflation. The whole Ukraine and Russia war has not helped. Gas prices have gone up, petrol prices have gone up, oil prices have gone up, so inflation has shot up a lot. Plan your budget well, keep a buffer, and please try to get part-time work. If you get part-time work, it will reduce the financial pressure on yourself and your parents to a great extent. Learn to cook. I couldn't cook to save my life before I went, but now I can cook at least 20 things. Right? Learn to cook is very useful, it's very reasonable. Grocery is very cost effective in most of these places, and if you cook a meal yourself, in UK it will cost you £1.5 average for a meal, whereas if you eat the same meal outside, it will be nothing less than £5 to £9. Right? A Happy Meal or a McDonald's burger cost you around £6. So obviously make sure you're cooking. It will help you in terms of saving money also, but you'll not get bored of eating outside, and you'll be healthier as well. Choose the right phone plan. Make sure your phone plan has some international calling. So in case you're not able to connect through WhatsApp to your parents or FaceTime, then you at least have the option of calling them. So a lot of calling plans would have international calls or international minutes free. So make sure you take the right plan on your phone. The public transport in most of these countries is excellent. Right? So use the public transport as much as you can. It is very cost effective and it's very, very convenient as well. Most of the places you don't need to have your own transport, you don't need to buy a car. Be prepared to walk a lot as well, right? The average steps you cover in a day would be 12 to 15,000 very easily. So be prepared to walk a lot, make sure you're carrying good shoes that are going to give you all the good support for your feet. But yeah, be prepared to walk a lot, at the same time use public transport. Okay, the students in most of these countries have a lot of discounts. Right from the travel, local travel, international travel, flights, trains, buses, restaurants, shopping, right? So do research on what are the different offers that are available at different places for students. All you have to do is show your student university ID and you will be eligible for that discount. In some countries, there are specific cards that you can make. Like, so in case of UK, you can make an NUS card that automatically it gives you access to a lot of discounts. For example, your train travel reduces by 33% straight if you have an MUS card. It makes you eligible for a lot of student discounts at various places and a lot of student discounts within your campus vicinity. Right? So even a Starbucks at your campus might give you a discount if you have an MUS. Right? So be aware of what are the different facilities that are available to students. And again, like I said, these are very student-friendly countries. So they will create a lot of opportunities for you where you will be able to get very good student discounts on travel, on all kinds of experiences. Right, one very interesting thing you can do, there are a lot of what we call local platforms where you can go and live with families there, right? Or you can experience living with a British family or a German family. So see if there are any platforms that facilitate that. If you're able to live with the family for even a week, that's going to teach you a lot about their culture, a lot about the country. You know, so acclimatization will become a lot easier. It will be a fun experience as well. Right, safety. Guys, please do not do stupid things there. Right, I've had students who fall into a lot of weird trouble, and you can't get out of trouble there if you fall. Right, you can't call an uncle, mama, chacha, and sorry, minister se baat karo, usse karo, usse nahi karo. No, nothing works there. Right, so please don't be anything stupid that is anywhere even close to being illegal. Secondly, you are responsible for your own safety. Yes, most of these countries are much safer when you compare them to India, but if you are going to walk alone at 2 a.m. in the night and expect that I'll not get robbed, you're responsible for your own safety. So firstly, travel in groups if you're traveling late in the night. Right? Don't go to areas which are known for being mischievous. Right? Every city, every country in the world will have certain pockets where crime, criminal activities are more. Right? So avoid those areas. So be careful about your own safety. Be aware of the emergency services. Right? All these countries have quick response teams, and their quick response teams are fabulous. Right? India में हम 100 पे phone करेंगे तो शायद 15-20 मिनट लगा देना आने के. Then if you call 911 or 999 or whatever the services are, I have seen response time as low as 2 minutes. Right? So they're very good when it comes to policing, very good when it comes to emergency assistance and response services. So utilize that. Be aware at least that what are the services that you need to take if you are in any sort of a trouble, so you know what to do. A lot of university will have what we call safety apps that they provide, right? So they will have like a one app, like you have a button that you can press. So if you press the volume button 3 times, it'll activate and send out a message to that service that you are in some sort of a trouble, right? Then your GPS location will get sent. So those kind of services are also available, not in every campus, but some campuses do have that. So be aware of what are the safety options for you. And please look after your own safety. Don't do stupid things again. Then don't come back and say that your place was unsafe. Right? Today you are inviting trouble, trouble will find you. Carry medical insurance, we've already covered. Know the emergency numbers. So in case of UK is 999, Ireland is 112, Dubai is 999 again, Germany is 112. So I would say put this on your fast dial and save it. Take advantage of student discounts. Plan your budget well. So I would say right from here itself, plan your budget, what your monthly expenses are going to be. Speak to other students out there who will give you realistic pictures. At times, we as council may not be fully aware of how much the expenses have gone up, because again, we rely more on the information that we take back from students. But people who are living there might be able to give you a lot more insight on what the real expenses are. And always factor, I would say 5 to 10% more than what is being quoted to you. So if your counselor has told you कि 1200 से 1500 pound चाहिए, I would say 10% extra factor करके चलना. Yeah. Okay, process of finding part-time jobs. Right, this is one of the most pressing questions that we get from most students. कि part-time jobs कैसे मिलेंगे? Guys, you have to hustle. No job is gonna come and fall in your lap. You have to hustle. You have to work hard the first couple of months to get that first part-time job. Once you get that first part-time job, trust me, you start networking, you'll get your foot in the door, things will become a lot easier. Fortunately, all of you are going in the September intake. It will take you a month to kind of settle down. Then it will take you a month and a half to start looking for jobs. Typically in all these countries, November to December are absolute peak seasons, right? Where they need people to work in the hospitality sector, they need people to work in the retail sector because they are huge on shopping during this time. It's the biggest festival for them, right? But at the same time, people are not working because they're taking their annual vacations. So it's the easiest time to get a job. And once you get a job, then Indians are normally so good with work that they tend to retain the job very easily. Right? So utilize this period to get that job or network with people. There are various platforms where you can apply jobs from. The first foremost is your own university. Your own university will offer a huge amount of part-time work, right from campus ambassador positions to research assistant positions to library assistant positions, event coordinators, all sorts of jobs are available within the university itself. So first, usko target karo. Second, a lot of universities will have a career portal where they will keep posting part-time jobs that are available in the locality, right? So a lot of employers rely on the university to feed in labor to them. So do that. And there are a lot of job agencies, so especially those of you who are working in big cities. So, like say for example, I'll give you the example of London. So London has one agency that manages all the work in Lord's Stadium, all the work in Wembley Stadium, and they are responsible for recruiting people, training them, and then supplying when they're required during the games. So go enroll with some agencies, job agencies, so that whenever they need casual work, it's called casual work, right? Where they might need it for a weekend, they might need it for 4 days for an event, 5 days for an event. So when you're registered on these agencies, they will reach out to you and say, oh, we have this, event coming up and we need someone to work from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock for 4 days. Would you be interested? You show your interest and you can go work. So these are more casual work or temporary work, but again, you can get full, regular part-time work also. So in a retail store, in a restaurant, in cafes, you can work part-time. For students who are going to Germany, start brushing up your German language. Because if you don't speak fluent German, chances of you getting a part-time job are as good as zero. Right? If you don't speak the language, these are all customer-facing jobs. So you need to speak language. Those of you who are going to UK, Ireland, Dubai, brush up your English as much as you can. The stronger your communication skills, the better the chance of you getting a job. Again, these are mostly customer-facing jobs. Right? Use multiple channels, like I said, job boards, job portals, university portals, your own network. I have students, what they would do? They would keep 50 copies of their CV in their backpack. And whenever they're walking through a high street, they would see a shop, they would drop their CV and say, in case you have a requirement, reach out to me. In case you have a requirement, reach out to me. Those are the kind of efforts they put in. Right? Because they're going there to hustle, they're going there to prove a point, they're going there to succeed. And if any of you have any apprehensions or parents have apprehensions in letting your child work part-time, you're wrong. Please let them work part-time. If they're working as a waiter, doesn't matter. They're cleaning utensils, doesn't matter. Let them go through the grind. Secondly, they will get life lessons. Tremendous life lessons. They'll become independent, they'll become confident. They'll start networking, adjusting to the place, understanding the work culture there. I have seen students who work part-time, their ability to get full-time jobs increases drastically because they're already exposed to the job market. I have students who पूरे साल कुछ नहीं करते, मस्ती करते हैं, पढ़ाई करते हैं, and then they enter the job market and they expect कि 2 महीने में job मिल जाएगा. कैसे मिलेगा? You don't even know how to give an interview in that country. For part-time jobs, you would have given 10 interviews, you already learned how to give an interview in that country. And if you think part-time jobs are taken lightly, they're not taken lightly. You are expected to have tremendous professionalism even for part-time work there. Right? So please ensure that you're exposing yourself as much as you can for part-time work. In fact, particularly for UK, we are fortunate that we have someone here who studied in the UK, one of our students, who's now a partner in our company and managing our Nasik office. So I would invite Shreyas to share his experience of part-time work. And also, please share what kind of part-time work you've done while you were there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shreyas. I've completed my master's in marketing brand management from Pune University, London. So I'll be sharing my experience and even some pro tips and so whatever I can share, you guys can note it down. So first thing is I got exposure to many things. First is exposure to technology. I've watched international live events like football, live football matches. Liverpool versus Manchester City. अगर कोई football fan रहेगा, so this type of matches I've seen while working, right, for free of cost. Instead, I was getting paid for seeing these matches. Other than this, I've been got a very good exposure to develop my personality. If you would have seen me before going abroad, I was very ambivert, right? But later on, you tell me to speak in front of like 10,000 people, I'll be very easily able to speak without script. Second is you need to become extrovert, and doing more part-time jobs will make you become more extrovert. It's because you will increase your observation skills in part-time job, your confidence, right? So these are the things what will groom you. First, what I used to think is part-time jobs वो ही student करते हैं जिनको पैसों की जरूरत नहीं. I have seen daughters and sons of millionaires working as waiters. I'll be very honest. It's only because to understand the value of money, their parents tell them to work. And yeah, when everyone does go, we also feel like going there. I'll be sharing some few tips as well. So make your CV ATS friendly. I don't know how many of you know what is ATS friendly CV. ATS is application tracking system. If your CV is not ATS friendly, आपको acceptance rejection छोड़ो, आपको ये भी नहीं आएगा. क्या बोलते हैं कि thank you for applying. You won't even get that message or mail, right? So make sure your CV is ATS friendly. If you just Google also what is ATS friendly CV, you'll come to know. Other than that, there are two types of part-time jobs. One is the normal one. I was working as a steward in Wembley Stadium. I was working as cashier. Even there are jobs in libraries, right? Go to your university portals. आपके website पे बहुत अलग-अलग types के part-time jobs रहेंगे. Department होगा. My university had a department called as job shop in Pune University, right? So the first thing what you do is go and register yourself to these various departments. The another thing you should be doing is network बनाना है seniors के साथ, because once you go there, they are finishing their course, right? तो उनका part time का जो place है that is getting vacant, right? So you guys can get there very easily. Even get connected with undergraduate students if any of you are going for masters. Other than this, download apps like Google, Stint, Indeed Flex, right? These apps will help you to find part-time jobs in various fields. The second type of part-time job is internships, right? It is a bit difficult to get, but have good connections with job department, with your professors. Because of this, what will happen is network banega, and they can recommend you to get internships. So if you get an internship, you never know, they'll give you full-time job after you finish your degree, right? So this is one of the tips. Other than this, students going UK, you need to get NI number, and after NI number, only you can apply. This is what your university tells you, but I'll give you a tip, insider. कि NI number के जो receipt होता है, after application you get a receipt. Thank you for applying for your NI number. Even you can apply for part-time jobs on your NI receipt, right? Other than that, you can work double hours in your vacations like Christmas, right? May it be any country, Germany हो गया, UK, Ireland, Dubai. When it comes to Christmas, you can work double. When it comes to summer vacations, you can work double, like 40 hours a week. Right? So that's a good opportunity. Even they pay very high in this because they need people to work at that time. Yeah, one last step other than part-time jobs, be serious in last 3 to 4 months, because what students do it, क्या करते हैं, जो students who go to Europe या फिर UK countries, Ireland countries घूमने जाते हैं, 20, 25, 20, 25 pounds you get the air ticket very cheap. Then you start roaming, and then you forget to do your dissertation. So you have to become master into dissertation, because your dissertation would be a very important thing which would be considerable for getting a job, right? Thank you so much. This was from my side.
Thank you, Shreyas. always good to hear from a student because when I went as a student, it was almost 21 years ago. So a lot has changed since then. So always good to hear from someone who's been there more recently. Also, full-time jobs. Biggest pressing concern that most parents have is कि ROI मिलेगा क्या, full-time jobs मिलेंगे क्या. The key to full-time jobs is to start preparing from day one. So number one, focus on getting an internship. Even if it's an unpaid internship, is fine. Because I have seen a lot of unpaid internships convert into a full-time job. So when you're getting 3 to 4 months to spend with an employer, you are getting an opportunity to prove yourself, and many a times that may turn into a full-time opportunity for you. A lot of students, the mistake they make is they start applying for full-time jobs when they're ending their second semester. So when they're entering the final semester, for master's students, that is the stage where they start applying for jobs. No. You should be applying for jobs as early as January. You should have a good covering letter. You should have a good CV. And your covering letter should clearly mention that I'm an international student, and once I complete my master's degree, I will get a post-study work visa, which will allow me to work in the country for 2 years. A lot of HR departments and recruiters do not have knowledge of international visas. They don't know as an international student whether you have the right to work there or not work there. So whenever you are applying for part-time jobs or full-time jobs, put in a copy of your visa so they can see on your visa, yes, you have work rights. One of the biggest mistakes students make is they don't mention that they're eligible to work. They assume कि उनको पता होगा, नहीं पता होता है. Because 90% of the time the recruiters are dealing with domestic students or with domestic people who have the right to work there. They don't know the immigration laws, whether they allow international students to work or not work, because it changes also quite frequently, right? So that's the first step. Mention on your CV and your covering letter that you have the right to work. You're currently pursuing a master's, and by say August you will graduate, and by say latest September or October you will have a visa to work there full time. Mention that very, very categorically on your CV and covering letter. Second, utilize your university's careers department. जाके खून पी जाओ उनका. Right? Again, what students will do, they'll go there once. And nobody likes to work. Right? Those guys also are sitting in the careers team there are working. तो वो लोग क्या करेंगे? चलो अपना काम थोड़ा बहुत ज्ञान दो और भगाओ इसको यहाँ से. That is what will happen most of the times. But if you keep knocking them, keep knocking them, keep knocking them, they can't get irritated. You are a client to them. You are a student. Right? You keep knocking them, they will eventually say, okay, wait, let me try to put in some extra effort for you so that I can get you off my back. Right? So utilize your careers department as much as you can, leverage it as much as you can. Network with your professors. Network with your seniors. A lot of the university that you're going to go to has a massive alumni network where you can enroll to the alumni network and reach out to your alumni. So today, if I'm a Cardiff graduate and a Cardiff student reaches out to me saying, hey, I see that you're working in this company and I'm trying for an internship here, can you help me? What is the probability of me saying no? Less. Right? Network with people on LinkedIn. Upgrade your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is super, super important for working professionals. Upgrade all your skills. Follow companies that you're targeting. See what they're up to, what their culture is, what their requirements are. Gain knowledge about them so you can target them specifically. Be aware of job openings. Both Germany, Ireland, UK offers what we call graduate positions. These positions are created for fresh graduates who do not have prior work experience. And all across these countries between May and June, you will see graduate fairs happening where companies come and advertise their graduate positions and they invite applications. Be aware of when those fairs are happening, be fully prepared for those fairs and go attend and apply with as many companies as you can. The more hard work you put in, the better are your chances. It's input versus output. I have students who sit online and make 50 applications. Oh, yaar, 50 applications kar de bas, yahan pe job nahi. I have students on an average, on a daily basis, they do 50 applications. In a month, they end up doing 500 to 600 applications. Tab jaake ek interview call hai. Right? So it's consistent, persistence, effort that you need to put in and start early so you don't lose your patience. Because after August, September, Once you've graduated and you're not getting a job, your patience will keep decreasing. And then there'll be pressure from home. Job nahi mila, ghar aa jao office. Yahan pe karwa do na. There are parents who do that, right? Jokes apart, but yeah, your patience will go down because your expenses will continue. And you will like, kuch nahi ho raha, yahan pe paise waste karne se acha hai go back. So that's the advantage of starting early, that you will not lose your patience and you will put in a lot of effort. Right? So these are some of the tips that we can suggest for full-time jobs. Now there are some good recruitment companies out there. Right? So we are very soon hopeful that we'll sign up with a company called Student Circle that supports students, particularly Indian students with full-time jobs in the UK. Like that, there are many recruitment companies. So go find out recruitment companies. Some of them offer paid services. It's okay to pay. Right? When you're paying for something, you get better services. So please do as much research as you can, but effort dalna padega. Irrespective of which country you're going to, it is not going to come and fall in your plate. You will have to work hard, hustle to get that job. It's always the first job that's very difficult. Once you get your foot in the door, you will kick it. Have you ever heard of Indians getting a job and not being successful? Most Indians who got jobs are very well settled and doing really well for themselves. Right? Today you pick up any top Fortune 500 company, the top leadership is Indian origin. Right? Because they recognize the fact that we are hard workers, they recognize the fact that we are very productive, very efficient with our work, and that is a norm now. So the expectations are there, you just have to ensure that you meet those expectations. Right? On a closing note, enjoy yourself, make friends. This will be the best year of your life.